Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Okay. Yeah, we're going to finally touch on Trump and this Mueller report and everything that's going on out here, because it has been a media circus since this whole thing has come out. And we're just going to sit back and have a good time talking about this today. I hope everybody is doing well. Okay, let's see here. What's that? All right, y'all. True Royal, I sent you an invite? Are you here? Hello? Somebody's here. Hi. All right. All right, y'all, we're going to get started. This has been an interesting week. Okay, it's been an interesting week. We had the Notre Dame Cathedral burned down.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We had the Notre Dame Cathedral burned down, y'all. We had the pink moon. We had the Mueller report. Woo! This 1 week was like a year. Yeah, this has been something else. And before we even get into the Mueller report, we're going to touch on Sarah Sanders. I know everybody just loves this woman, right?
Yeah. Oh, don't forget, Lisa, what's currently going on now.
Yeah, the other church burnings. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were bombed.
Mm-hmm.
On Easter Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look at all the stuff that happened just this week alone, leading up to Good Friday and Easter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. But, I found the tweets between April Ryan and Sarah Huckabee's father. It was really interesting. I didn't know he threatened her before until I start looking at these tweets.
Oh, her father threatened her
Yes.
too?
Yes.
What the hell?
Yeah. But this is supposed to be a Christian minister, y'all. Yeah. He don't sound very Christian like when he's dealing with April.
Mm-mm-mm.
So we're going to start with her because she's really the lesser of two evils.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the Mueller report, and I think what took Sarah by surprise, let me go ahead and share my screen here before I really get into this. I think she was shocked that she was even named in this report, but she was, because she has been doing the heavy bidding of Donald Trump. And I really think this is why they threw Sean Spicer out and put her in, because they probably talked to her and she said there was nothing she wouldn't do for Trump, including
Mm-hmm.
lie. And he knew that. And so he squeezed him on out and put her in. But now she looks so bad before the whole country for all of the lying that she's done. People are now looking at her saying, well, do you ever tell the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, this girl was raised in a Christian family with a father that's a minister, and she, to this very moment, can't even admit all of her lies. And they've been pointing them out to her all through the press in interviews, and she's still lying.
So now she's gonna use her father as an attack dog because she and her feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so she's not doing very good in damage control, as you can see. She's not doing good at all. She really
She, you
isn't.
know what? And you know another thing, I ain't heard nobody on unquote her side even give her any support. It's like
No,
she on her own,
she is
and
on
that's
her own.
and that Trump is known for that. You know, he had a lawyer that cleaned up all his dirty laundry for 10 years, and he's demonstrated that to quite a few people that has been in his cabinet. He
Mhm.
not he not loyal to you at
Let her
all.
think by
It's
herself.
yeah, once your ass get in trouble in his circle, you on your own.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Trump ain't running to her aid. And
Mm-hmm.
really, what can he do? You already a big liar in the report too. So I don't know what weight his word is going to carry at this point.
Mm-hmm.
When you really think about it. But let's get into this that came out in the Hill. April Ryan slams Mike Huckabee and Twitter feud. They literally been going back and forth since all of this stuff has come out about his daughter. Will you get into heaven? The answer is no. This is April Ryan talking to him. So if you go down, I'm not going to get, if you can see this tweet, Governor Mike Huckabee. So liberals is okay. Does CNN have the integrity to deal with this incitement to murder? CNN's April Ryan says Sarah Sanders' head should be lopped off,
Damn.
right? So she's on CNN doing this interview, and she's talking about how, this is an embarrassment and she represents the country. And look at what she's standing there doing every day.
And she did it.
Mhm.
At one point, she did admit she lied.
Yeah. Yeah.
The slip of the tongue. That's what she said. But
Which is a lie.
she slipped it. They said she slipped it. I think they said she slipped it for 3 days.
Yeah. She's been doing a lot of slips since she's been in that position.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so April Ryan came back at him online and said, you, sir, need to sit down. You gave me a veiled threat not long ago. So he's threatened her before. Her father. You call yourself a man of God. Boy, bye. As your people come from me, my people see you and will do the same for you. So that's how she responded to him.
Mm-hmm.
Then she sent another tweet, and this is all on April 19th, by the way. Hey, Mike, you said I should be gutted like a deer. This is how a minister is talking, a Christian minister, right? This is how he's talking to this Black woman. Hey, Mike, you said I should be gutted like a deer. Do you remember? Don't lie. God is watching, and I have tape. This is how he's talking to, but this is a white Christian minister telling this black woman she needs to be gutted like a deer. Okay. This is Sarah's father. So she responds, by the way, you should be celebrating Good Friday, or do you even remember Jesus anymore? He would not come down from the cross just to save him. He decided to die. All right. And then she wrote here's one from him. So from Governor Mike Huckabee. Will the at WHCA revoke April Ryan's credentials? If not, they are gutless tools. CNN, April Ryan says Sarah Sanders' head should be lopped off. So she responded back to him, will you get into heaven? The answer is no. They were really going. So he says again, you and your daughter are liars. And why is she getting paid to be press secretary if there are no briefings? Why is she afraid? So she sends another tweet to Huckabee and she says, as I thank God this day for his sacrifice, as you should be doing, I have a warning for you. If anything happens to me or mine or anyone connected to me, you and your daughter and this administration will be held accountable. So you better stop now.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's been pretty heated between her father and April Ryan on Twitter, as you can see. I'm sure there'll be more. You know, he's a white male, so he's whiny. So I'm sure he'll continue this back and forth with her. That's just the nature of the beast, y'all.
She's just like her daddy.
Yeah, so you can see the apple did not fall far from the tree. You see where she got it from. Well, yeah, white pastors were the ones that told their congregation it was okay to hang black men and women and children. Remember that. Most hangings took place on a Sunday afternoon when these demons got out of church.
Wow.
So that really gives you the full history on white ministers in America. Okay. All right. Now, Trump is, as usual, this is on the 20th. Trump tweets frustrations with details of Mueller's report following public release. Now, wait a minute. Wasn't it about a week or two ago Trump was saying he was vindicated?
Yes, he sure did.
He was vindicated. That there was no collusion. There was no collusion.
Oh, sick of hearing that word. Sick of hearing that word.
So that's what he was saying ahead of the report. Now that the report is out, he's whining. Whining all over social media, trying to say stuff is fake, and we know this stuff ain't fake. This has been investigated for 2 years. Okay, this ain't fake. He just doesn't like that it doesn't shed a favorable light on him.
Fabricating shit all day.
Yeah, just like he would.
I just don't understand. Blatant lies in your face.
And Robert Barr, I don't know where he dug this fool up from.
Oh, he was a trip. That was a weird white boy.
I don't know where he dug him up from. But yeah, the way he came out with everything, and the report is redacted. And there are some people in, I think Nedler, one of the Democratic congressmen, he said he wants the full report. He don't want that redacted report.
Me too. That's the parts that people want to read.
Right.
They didn't blot it out.
Exactly. So he sent a subpoena over to William Barr not long ago, I think like a day or so ago, for the full report. He doesn't want the redacted report. He wants the whole thing.
Once they get their hands on it, trust and believe it's going to leak out.
Mm-hmm.
Just to shame Trump even for more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, that's why it took him so long to get that damn report out. He had people combing over it and blacking stuff out before the public release. But yeah, there are him. I know one, maybe even two, said they were going to subpoena him for the full report. So
I'm sending. I keep putting that link in there if somebody want to listen at their leisure later on. That's the audio.
Yeah, that's the audio to it. If you
audio,
listen to it, it's like 11 hours. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's another one where Trump has now been all frustrated all over social media, but you were vindicated 2 weeks ago, right? So I'm going to go ahead and play this CBS News video that just came out on the 20th. Go ahead and play
All right, let's talk politics. You know we would. President Trump's in Florida at Mar-a-Lago, but he's staying on the defensive following the release of the special counsel's report into Russian interference in the 2016 election. The president lashed out on Twitter Saturday morning. He wrote, quote, "The end result of the greatest witch hunt in U.S. political history is no collusion with Russia and no obstruction." Pretty amazing. Mueller's report does not include the president obstructed justice, but it also does not exonerate him. The president's victory lap comes as Massachusetts Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren became the first 2020 presidential candidate to call for Congress to begin impeachment proceedings. But Speaker Nancy Pelosi and other House Democratic leaders have stayed non-committal on that question of impeachment, at least so far. In response to Senator Warren, a spokeswoman for Mrs. Pelosi said, quote, "As the speaker has said repeatedly, one step at a time, we're focused on getting the full unredacted version of the report and its underlying documents, as well as hearing from Mueller. The report raises more questions and concerns that we believe the American people deserve answers to." House Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler has issued a subpoena for the full unredacted Mueller report. He and 5 other top Democrats rejected an offer to view just some of the report's hidden sections. But the Justice Department's pushing back, calling the move premature, at least for now. Joining me are Niall Stanage and Jesse Weber. Niall's a White House columnist for The Hill. Jesse is an attorney and host on the Law and Crime Network. Niall, we'll start with you. You wrote 2 columns this week on the Mueller report. Your first from Thursday calls it a win for the president, saying, quote, "The big picture remains no collusion. Trump will be more than satisfied with the outcome, given the gravity of the threat Mueller posed." But your second from Saturday morning says, quote, "The depiction will enrage a president who fixates on the concept of strength and is hypersensitive without any suggestion that he is not in absolute control of his administration." So which do you believe is more accurate, one or two?
Well, I don't think they're mutually exclusive. And of course, you'd expect me to say that, I imagine. But the distinction is that one refers to the legalities and the danger of there being a finding in the Mueller report that was absolutely catastrophic for the president and made some kind of impeachment push inevitable. That didn't happen. The central question of collusion, Mr. Mueller did not find enough evidence to establish. Now, that's a different point from the politics. And on the politics, we have depicted a White House where the president's instructions are ignored or slow walked. It's a familiar dynamic to lots of people from their workplaces where the boss says crazy stuff and you try to avoid acting on it without telling him outright no. But of course, in this case, the boss is the president of the United States.
Jesse, look, when I watched the Attorney General give his speech that morning, he really focused on collusion. In all fairness, he did say there are some points in there that deal with obstruction that might inflame you do that. How did you read the Attorney General's press conference before the report came out? What do you think about that?
It was interesting. It was almost like instructions before you're given an exam. These are things to think about before you go in there. I mean, really, when we were talking about for the past 2.5 years, it was all collusion, collusion, collusion. Obstruction of justice came at the second half. So really the big part about it was this collusion factor. I thought it was interesting, and I'll tell you why. Based upon his letter, that 4-page letter, and his press conference, I was expecting to see something a little bit different. Now, the conclusions are the same.
Different how?
I'll tell you how. the obstruction question. When he said that there were difficult questions of fact and law, I was expecting to see those 10 or 11 episodes and me look at it and say, I don't know which way to go with this.
Now, Queen,
Yes.
you know what I notice? White men can have jacked up teeth and still be on TV.
Ooh. What happened to your dental plan?
Yeah, men got all of them. They all got some jacked up looking teeth. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Taryn. And popped up.
Oh, how you doing, Taryn?
Mm.
All right. So Barr seems to believe, listen to this. They are trying so bad to make up excuses for Trump. Barr seems to believe Trump is too emotional to be guilty. Does that make sense?
That don't make sense at all. They just don't make sense at all. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there where it's set, right there.
Man, I mean, they take us for fools. Okay, because Trump is being emotional, he can't be guilty.
Mm-mm-mm.
I mean, does that sound like something you would stand in front of a second grader and say?
Yeah, he's pouting. He nothing but a man child.
Yeah. So this is the claim he's putting out there. So you mean to tell me when Black men all over this country are being arrested and they show emotion, they're guilty. But Trump, who shows emotion, he can't be guilty.
That is crazy.
Oh man, this is just too funny. But yeah, this is what Barr just said a day ago, y'all. This is what he said a day ago.
That sound like influenza. That white boy.
Yeah.
They're so wealthy, you don't understand it. What you did, you murdered some people. Boy, the stuff that the wordplay, the games they'll play. It's amazing.
I'm looking at the comment section. Too emotional to be. That's what he said. Trump is too emotional to be guilty. I said, boy, he dig deep in his ass to pull that one out.
He sure did. That's what his ass get.
Oh man, no, that don't vindicate nothing. All right, we're gonna get into some of the key points in this investigation, and it was lengthy. And when I was listening to it, Jeff Sessions' name came up, Cohen, some people that we have been hearing about all along. But yeah, Jeff Sessions was there for some of the meetings with Russia. So yeah, so this thing is deep. This is real deep.
And that's where it's gonna get even more juicier because he gonna fill in the gaps for him because he's trying to do as little jail time as possible.
Yeah, Cohen. Yep.
Yeah, so he gonna give them the kitchen sink.
Boy, I can't wait to hear his version of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting. That's what I'm waiting for. So he gonna have another meltdown when he do that.
Yeah, he sure is.
And then when the taxes come out, he might just drop dead.
Oh my goodness. I think he's going to have a coronary on the day they release those taxes. He don't want those taxes out.
Well, the day that happened, I'm throwing a barbecue. We're gonna party for 3 days round the clock.
Okay. All right.
Come through anytime. You can even go to bed. I got a guest room. This party. Have a Trump party.
Oh yeah, that sounds good to me. Okay, so let's look at some of the things that came up because I listened to it. I got through probably about 7 hours of it. I did not listen to the whole 11.
No,
It was
I think I got to 5 hours.
Okay. So now here's one key point. Trump tried to sabotage the investigation. His staff defied him. All right. So when Attorney General Jeff Sessions told Trump that special counsel had been appointed May 2017, Trump grew angry. I'm fucked. Now, does that sound like an innocent person, y'all? Do innocent
No.
people go around and say, I'm fucked?
No, when he said that, that tapped into deep emotions within himself. He was feeling some kind of way.
Yes. Okay. If you are innocent of doing something, you don't scream, I'm fucked.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be real. You don't.
Mm-hmm.
He said believing his presidency was ruined. Why would it be ruined if you did nothing? You see,
Well, you know how he came. You know how he came out and bragged the other day. I could have fired everyone. I could have fired everyone.
Yeah.
You know, but
Mm-hmm.
basically was saying I'm innocent. I allowed it to happen. That's a narcissist to his core.
Mm-hmm.
I allowed it to happen.
Yes.
And so they fabricated 400 pages.
Yeah, 448 pages and years of investigation, but none of it is true. It's a witch hunt, y'all. It's a witch hunt. Okay, so this is what he said, and that's not the reaction of an innocent person. His actions give it away. He told Mr. Sessions, "This is the worst thing that ever happened to me." That don't sound innocent to me.
Not at all.
That sounds like somebody that is afraid their work is about to be uncovered.
Because what do people usually say when they're innocent of something? You know, first
I didn't do it.
Yeah, I didn't do it, but you don't hear them say I'm fucked. You know,
right?
Yeah, I didn't do this, and be very consistent about it too.
Exactly.
He all over the damn place.
He's saying one thing to the public, but behind the scenes, you can see his reaction is very different. Mr. Trump began trying to get rid of Mr. Mueller. So he was trying to get Mueller fired. Okay. And he was pissed. This is when he started getting angry with Jeff Sessions, when Mueller came aboard. That's when all of his anger towards Jeff Sessions began.
Oh, yeah. Keeper.
Yeah, exactly. In instance after instance, his staff acted as a bulwark against Mr. Trump, most destructive impulses. In June 2017, the president instructed Donald F. McGahn II, the White House counsel, to remove Mueller. But Mr. McGahn resisted. So he tried to instruct one of the White House attorneys to get rid of Mueller, but he wouldn't do it.
What's a word that you said I never heard of? A bulwark? What is that?
Hold on. These are political terms.
Oh, okay. That one I never heard of.
Okay, let me see something. I'm gonna look that one up. Bulwark. A defensive wall.
Okay.
That's what it means. All right, y'all. Let's see. Let me get back here. Okay. Yeah, barrier, defensive wall. That's it.
Okay.
Thank
you.
Okay. So he tried to get this Donald McGahn to fire Mueller, but he wouldn't do it. Rather than carry out the president's order, he decided he would rather resign. So this attorney did not want to do what Trump requested, and that was fire Mueller. Instead of doing that, he walked away from Trump.
Yeah.
I guess he got tired of being a whipping boy. They said Trump is a very demanding person. And he talks to these people, like the people around him. They said Donald Trump talked to these people like trash.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And do y'all know Donald Trump will wake up his Secret Service and make them go to McDonald's in the middle of the night for him? That's not their job, but this is what he makes them do. I wouldn't do it. I'd tell his fat ass to go to sleep. 2 days later, Mr. Trump asked another trusted advisor, Corey Lewandowski, to tell Mr. Sessions to end the investigation, but he didn't want to, so he punted to his colleague, Rick Dearborn. He too was uncomfortable with the task and did not follow through. Trump could not get anybody on his staff to fire Mueller.
Ain't that something?
No one on his staff to do it. He went to several different attorneys. All of these men are attorneys, and not one of them would fire Mueller for Trump. Wow. Woo, Trump don't have no loyalty on that staff.
They sure don't. They sure don't.
Wow.
More stuff gonna leak out. It's just, he was calling it a witch hunt.
Yeah.
He the one that put the witch hunt out there. Now people, they got their name thrown in the street. This saga gonna be never ending. It's gonna get worse and worse and worse because he got other pending shit piling up on him.
Yeah. Well, New York said they got more lawsuits coming, but they're waiting until he finishes his presidency. And they're gonna slam him with all these lawsuits they got on him in New York.
Yeah, along with his raggedy kids.
Yeah. So Trump ripped off a lot of people, him and his kids. All right. So many lies, so many changed stories. One of the unanswered questions of the past 2 years, which helped fuel the FBI investigation, congressional inquiries, and journalistic scrutiny, is why so many people lied, changed their stories, and issued misleading statements to both the public and federal authorities. The report recaps one false statement after another. Just a few examples. Mr. Trump was livid when journalists revealed that he had unsuccessfully ordered Mr. Mueller's firing, which he did. He did. That was in the last thing I read. He went to several different attorneys on his staff, and not one of them would fire Mueller. So he was mad.
Ain't that a trip? So ain't that a trip? Mueller doing the investigation, and he's part of the investigation. Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Yeah. So as the investigation is going on, he's desperately going from attorney to attorney to try to see if one of them will fire Mueller.
I remember when that happened. I remember that.
Woo, this is embarrassing. The whole world is seeing this about Trump.
Like I said, it gives you more of an insight of who Trump really is. He's very menacing and messy, and he stay in constant drama. So somebody's always been there to bail him out. And eventually just the energy of that, when it does catch up to a person like him, it's like you put on a scale, you put a feather on the scale, but then you take 10 bricks and put it on his.
Yes.
Of all that buildup, it just comes down because it boggles the mind to see a person lie on that level and then and keep a straight face.
Right. But see, Trump is messy because, the more people you try to get involved with your lie, the more it's likely to unravel. I guess he ain't learned that in life, huh?
He don't know how to hold water. He's too braggadocious. You run out there talking about he been fully exonerated and all of that. He was playing golf and having him a ball. And I kept saying, and I told my husband, I said, he don't know how, he's not humble at all. I just felt like something else was going to come with this. I said, he's just not humble, but I wasn't focusing on the report. I was just thinking, life in general. And it was that report.
Yeah.
Because he knew what was in there, and lied to his supporters. But a lot of his, well, I ain't gonna say all of them, but a big portion of his supporters is trailer park trash. That's the first time they ever been part of the political process.
Yeah. So you can see the whole time this investigation was going on, he was behind the scenes being menacing to everybody. So it looks like not a day went by since this investigation.
Oh, Lisa, tell what he was also doing to Sessions. You know, the phone calls he was making.
Oh yeah, he was calling Sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and at 3 a.m, and yeah, he was really harassing Sessions behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's inappropriate hours. What the fuck is you on?
Yeah, calling him all hours of the Woo! But it couldn't happen to a more wicked person, Jeff Sessions.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for him.
Yeah, he's so waiting on us. He got taken down by one of his own. There you go.
Sure. Coretta Scott King wrote a letter about him.
They lost the letter, remember?
Mm-hmm.
They conveniently lost the letter.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, you didn't lose that damn letter.
Mm.
Okay, so Trump was outraged that the journalist was asking about all the people he was going to behind the scenes to have Mueller fired. So he got outraged about that, which was the truth. So anyway, they are saying that they got the journalists apparently are talking to somebody in the White House that's spilling the beans on Trump, because they said they got it from a credible source that he was in the White House trying to get Mueller fired. So there you go. Mr. Trump also pressed the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein to give a news conference about the firing of the FBI Director James B. Comey. The White House press office wanted Rosenstein to say it was his idea. Mr. Rosenstein told the president that a news conference was a bad idea because if the press asked him, he would tell the truth. So Trump fired Comey. We know that, but he wanted to put it all on Rosenstein, and Rosenstein didn't go along with it.
Okay.
Woo! I tell you, this man is something else. So he does dirt and then try to push somebody else's face forward to take the responsibility. So you see how he operates. The White House press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, admitted issuing a statement to the news media in the heat of the moment that was not founded on anything. No, you lied, bitch. I mean, all these different terms.
Oh, Lord.
You lied.
That's it.
And you notice all of the other people around Trump refuse to get involved with it. She dove right in. You see that? The white woman dove right on in. And if you go back to other parts of the article, all of the white men that he went to refused him. Interesting.
Sure is.
He dove right in and started lying, lying for Trump. She had no problem with it. There you go. Now you see who the biggest ally is in his administration. Her. Fake news, not so much. The president has spent the past 2 years denouncing the news media. He has repeatedly accused reporters of making up sources to destroy his presidency, but they actually weren't. They were getting news from the inside. They were getting their information from somebody on the inside that was leaking to them. The report, though, shows not only that some of the most unflattering stories about Mr. Trump were accurate, but also the White House officials knew that was the case, even as they heaped criticism on journalists. So he was criticizing and had other people criticize the press, although they were speaking the truth about Trump. Fake news, that's his favorite phrase. Fake news.
Yep.
Trump. So when it's true about you, it's fake news. We know how you operate now. We know how
he switch up so quick, boy.
Yeah. Yeah. In May 2017, for instance, the New York Times disclosed that Mr. Trump had asked Mr. Comey to end the FBI investigation into the president's national security advisor, Michael T. Flynn. Mr. Trump tweeted, "I never asked Comey to stop investigating."
Wow. Boy, this dude.
Oh, does he ever tell the truth?
Mm-mm.
More fake news covering another Comey lie.
Mm-mm.
Those denials, Mr. Mueller wrote, substantial evidence corroborates Comey's account. Because Comey, if you remember, Comey did interviews shortly after he was fired. And he said Trump came to him and asked him to not investigate Michael Flynn.
Wow.
So apparently there was evidence of that conversation.
And you know what?
Report.
And Sessions told him to not do any of that stuff. He was advising him, just, he didn't, like I was telling you the difference between Clinton and him. They said Clinton, focused on what he had to do and not even bring it up. But one thing that I forgot to leave out of there that was fucked up that Clinton did do, he went and bombed another country because they was on his ass real bad to distract.
Yeah.
Remember that? Everybody could see through that. They said that shit wasn't necessary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he tried to stop the investigation on Michael Flynn. Then he got on Twitter and said he never did this. And Comey apparently had enough evidence to give to Mueller. Woo, he don't cover his tracks well at all.
He don't care to cover them. Mm-hmm. He don't care to cover them. That's why he looked the way he looked. So, just so messy because somebody's always behind him cleaning up for him.
Right. Now you see what it is. He does something and then push the face of somebody else in the forefront to be accountable for it. Now you see trickery.
Mm-hmm.
Another instance, Mr. Trump appeared to use criticism of the news media as a legal strategy. He attacked a Times article suggesting that his former lawyer, Michael D. Cohen's, might cooperate with the Justice Department and provide information about Mr. Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Here is a tweet. Donald J. Trump, the New York Times, and a third-rate reporter named Maggie Haberman, also known as Crooked H. Flunky. He loves calling people names, who I don't speak to and I have nothing to do with, are going out of their way to destroy Michael Cohen and his relationship with me in hopes that he will flip. They use. And he put that out April 21st, 2018. What a difference a year make, huh?
Sure does.
Oh, man. That tweet coincided with outreach to Mr. Cohen by Mr. Trump's associates, and Mr. Cohen understood that this was part of an effort to get him to stay on message and be part of the team. And for a while he was, he really was with Trump, even through all the lies. No obstruction, not so fast. Mr. Trump was quick to declare the report a total vindication. He sure did. He sure did.
Yes, he did. I heard that out his mouth.
I do have the right to fight back, and I'm fighting back not for me. I'm fighting back for the people of this country.
No collusion. There was no collusion. No collusion.
No collusion.
There is absolutely no collusion.
There's no collusion. The fact is, there is no collusion.
No collusion. There's no collusion.
This is a investigation where many, many millions of dollars has been spent, and there's no collusion.
This is a win for this president who, for now 2 years, has essentially been screaming there was no Russia collusion. He is backed up by Mueller.
maybe every time he said no collusion, but more than 231 times so far, maybe every time he said no collusion, he was telling the truth.
This was an illegal takedown that failed. And hopefully somebody's going to look at the other side.
Woo, this man is a liar. Yes.
Wow.
Oh man, he tried to exonerate himself, didn't he? But federal authorities went out of their way to exonerate Mr. Trump. They wrote that his conduct in office presents difficult issues that prevent us from conclusively determining that no criminal conduct occurred. Well, he went all out on Twitter. I remember last year just talking all bad about the FBI. I don't know if some of you remember that, but I sure do.
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh, yeah. Yes, I do remember. Because they were saying that was one entity that he couldn't, he didn't have full range to do what he wanted to do when it came to the FBI.
Right.
And that frustrated him. He was limited in that area.
Evading an FBI interview proved a successful strategy. So Trump repeatedly said he was eager to sit down for an interview with Mueller's team, despite his lawyer's insistence that doing so would be a terrible idea. Yeah, they would have dragged a lot of stuff out of Trump. He's not.
No, he's not.
He's not.
What they was talking about, they was going to put it on paper. That let you know his people don't have no confidence in him at all.
Yeah.
Because they know. With the word I use, he has no tact or diplomacy at all.
Right.
He don't know how to posture himself.
Oh yeah. Okay. The report makes clear why his lawyers were so worried about it. Mr. Mueller had a huge cache of unanswered questions, misleading and conflicting statements, and unexplained actions with which to confront the president. Sitting down for an interview, the report makes clear, would have exposed Mr. Trump to far more problems. It sure would have. His butt is a loose cannon. There's no telling what he would have sat there and ran his mouth and said and incriminated himself any further, because he would have done that. And you know, once he started running his mouth, even his own lawyers don't have no control over him because he want to do what he wants. Mr. Mueller said he chose not to subpoena the president because a court fight would delay the investigation. But that decision meant that the authorities were never able to ask the central question in the obstruction case. What was Mr. Trump thinking when he tried repeatedly to undermine the federal investigation? Yes, he did all kinds of things to try to block this investigation, and it all failed.
Yeah, his energy is all over it.
Yeah, I think he was outdone, that he couldn't get no one on his staff to fire to fire Mueller. No conclusive evidence of conspiracy, but lots of reason to investigate. But that's what Mueller said. That kind of got drowned out in the press when he turned that report in. He said there was no collusion, but it was enough evidence in there for Congress to make a move if they really wanted to. And he just left it at that.
Wow. Okay.
So I knew it had to be bad. I knew this report had to be bad for Trump. But
yeah, because that old Barr, he comes out, give a speech. He looked like he was having a bad day. I seen some of his facial expressions, just, like pictures. And he just, like I said, I made a joke. I said, before he stepped out there to speak, Trump was probably telling him, don't you put that fucking report out.
Probably threatened him like, I'll fire you like I fired Jeff Sessions. I'll fire you.
That's a solution to everything. Just fire everyone, and I'll get a new set of people because you can't trust him.
Yeah.
He's not trustworthy.
No, he isn't. But apparently he can't get his own people to do what he wants. I think that's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who put their name on this report? I wouldn't do what you want either, Trump. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Mr. Mueller makes explicit what Mr. Trump has repeatedly cast doubt on. Russia secretly manipulated the 2016 presidential election. The investigation ultimately found no evidence that anyone from Mr. Trump's campaign participated in an effort, but the report reveals in stark detail that many suspicious interactions that had the FBI so worried. So they are saying the Russians did not meddle in the election, but there were many other things that happened that worried the FBI. Many of those have reported that the report amounts to the compendium that explains the origins of the FBI investigation known as Crossfire Hurricane. Did you see that? Crossfire Hurricane. What's Crossfire Hurricane? Secret origins of the Trump investigation. Days after the FBI closed its investigation into Hillary Clinton's 2016, agents began scrutinizing the presidential campaign of her Republican rival, Donald Trump. Oh, now one thing, and I'm sure if you listen to 5 hours of the video, if you listen to 5 hours, then you would know that Trump was trying to get Hillary Clinton's emails.
I remember that too.
He wanted to have them published. If you listen to that whole thing.
Yeah, he was going to have it out there in the public. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim Johnson. Thank you. Yeah, he wanted to have that published. And I know that the Russians said they had her emails. Okay, so I get what that is. All right. For instance, it has long been known that George Papadopoulos, a young campaign aide, was told that the Russian government had dirt on Hillary Clinton. Those were her emails. In the form of thousands of emails. Yes, that was her. That's what the Russians got. Remember, they didn't want Hillary to win. So that's what remember Trump kept coming out. Why aren't you looking at Hillary? You need to look at Hillary.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was like, Hillary ain't the president. You dumbass. You're the president. So, but the report goes much further, revealing that Mr. Papadopoulos suggested an explicit offer by the Russian government to work with the Trump campaign to sabotage.
I wish that video would play for you when Papadopoulos cornered lioness Sarah Huckabee. That was the best. That she went on her little quick tour. He was out of all the news outlets she went to. To me, he was the best one. He would not let her manipulate him with them wordplay.
Yeah.
Because you tried to play that video yesterday and it wouldn't play. I said, damn. I forgive me. I'm just taking joy by her getting being. Yeah. They keep popping up.
You couldn't drag a better person than her. And plus, now that I see what her dad is doing behind the scenes, I'm even more happier she's getting dragged.
Yeah, because she's been crying.
Yeah, she's been crying to him. That's why now he's coming out on social media fighting people.
Yeah.
Okay. Reading this report cold, prosecutors described a president who was preoccupied with ending a federal investigation, a White House that repeatedly told misleading and changing stories, and a presidential campaign that was in repeated contact with Russian officials for reasons that are not always clear. Even though prosecutors concluded that didn't amount to probably criminal conduct, the report is astonishing and it's weak. Yes, it is.
Wow. Okay.
Yet it also a reminder of how much the public has learned over the past 2 years about Mr. Trump's conduct. Yeah, his ass is a scoundrel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I always say, greasy.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I'm like, it never made sense to me how much he kept bringing up Hillary and Obama, and it was like, you're the damn president. Why would they investigate them? You're the president. You did all this stuff.
Sure did.
Man, it's weird. If the American public or members of Congress were learning these things for the first time, the political fallout would normally be devastating. The consequences of the report remain to be seen, but if people are not surprised or shocked by the revelations, then Mr. Trump may have benefited by the steady drip of news stories he has so loudly criticized. I don't think he's gonna. Well, when I looked at, they're doing polls and stuff, and most of the American people say they believe what's in this report.
I wonder how many people over here. I was just thinking out loud. How many people in the comment box read the report?
Yeah, I don't know.
We could get everybody just give a 1 if they already read had an opportunity to read some of it.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
You can still download it out here. There's quite a few sites because
it's everywhere.
Yeah, I came across quite a few news sites and stuff that you can click on the PDF and download it.
And they selling it on Amazon. It ain't even worth it.
Not buy it, just download it. I don't know why anybody would buy it.
Yeah. And if you don't want to read it, here is the link again for the audio.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do both of them because I like highlight certain stuff and be real petty and keep pointing to the very thing I highlighted.
Well, yeah, I don't care about Hillary. Trust me, y'all. I know about Hillary's background and Haiti and all of that. I know about that. I'm not feeling bad for Hillary. I don't feel bad for nobody in this report. Nobody. Trump is a dirtbag. And look, y'all, I know Trump from his New York days. I could have told you this man was shady.
Well, he outdid Nixon. Because I had to, I was too young to even. I remember seeing all kind of cartoon characters of him with a long nose and all of that. But I knew, and as young as I was, he's a bad man. That's how I looked at it. But that's the way I was raised. I was raised that all white people were bad and I was superior. That's how I was raised. I'm telling you, my father put all kind of stuff in my head with that. So when I went over that Watergate stuff about 3 months ago, it was deep. It really was deep. And it just let you know how racist and foolish Nixon was too. It's a lot of nuts in there, but this nut, he can't contain who he is. He shows who he is. He wears it on his sleeve.
Yeah.
With a badge of honor.
See, this is a lifetime from Trump. This is this is a man has been away his whole life.
Yeah, and then when people question, well, why his wife won't say nothing or why his children won't say nothing, that's normal behavior in their world.
Yeah.
That's what people got to realize. That's normal. They would be looking at him abnormal if he started stop lying. They'd be like, what's wrong with him?
Well, they already did a poll and they said Melania is definitely a worse first lady than Michelle. Like that
yeah, they said, I read that she be going on her temper tantrums up in there too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't care about anybody. Yeah, Hillary,
Yeah.
all of them are criminals as far as I'm concerned.
And then let her fly all over the damn place on the taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
Just, just so she can get a pair of shoes and a purse.
Right. Now they got her out of the country in Africa. The exact time the report was released, they got Ivanka over there in Africa, in Ethiopia. I said, just look at the timing. I don't think that was a coincidence, y'all.
No, I don't think so either.
They got her out of here on purpose. They got her out on purpose, y'all. Yeah, she dancing around with Africans, and I wish the Africans would stop doing that shit.
Wow.
Well, yeah, Trump is narcissist. Look, you remember Thanksgiving? They asked him what was he grateful for. He said he was grateful for himself. Okay, that says it all right there.
You remember when they asked him, he perked up and kind of stuck his chest out, and I knew he was getting ready to say something stupid. The report. I don't even think the reporter responded back after that.
Grateful for himself.
Wow, I said that is arrogant.
He didn't even talk about his family. He's grateful for himself.
And he didn't change everything around in this country. Everybody's working. Everything is good.
And you know what? That's right. He's every time he does something, he always comes up to the mic telling everybody he's the only president that ever did this. Like,
yeah,
you ain't no only president that ever did anything. I don't think any of them can match him in line, though. I think he got that down.
Yeah, he does.
He got that one down.
Yeah, he do it. No effort.
Ego trip 1000. Y'all crazy. Yeah, that's true. I'm just looking at the comment section. But Queen, I know you're probably going to be dissecting it even more.
Okay.
But yeah, it is a lot. Now, what I heard on that audio, I don't know. It seemed very incriminating to me, especially when it started getting into those meetings with Russia. And them making all kinds of appointments with the Russians and everything. And I'm like, well, damn. It was really
it was really going on.
He was really over there a lot during his campaign. And I guess now I see what caused the suspicion when I started listening to the audio and they kept talking about all these meetings with Russia. And Cohen was meeting with them. And then Jeff Sessions was meeting with them. And Manafort, his name came up. And I'm like, well, damn, they were doing a lot of interaction with the Russians while he was on the campaign trail.
Wow.
So I see how it did draw that attention that the Russians might had something to do with it because of all the interactions they were doing. But even Mueller said Don Jr. is too damn dumb.
I know. That killed me. That killed me when I
oh, that was funny.
I seen that in an article. That was hilarious. He can't do nothing. He can't do simple shit like his father.
No, he can't. They said he's dumb. Do you know he said he wants to run for president probably the next 10 years? I said, we don't need no more dumbass Trumps in the office.
He's the first and last Trump that will ever be in office.
I think so. You won't see a repeat of this anymore. But I you know what? I thank goodness for Trump because nobody's going to drag America down better than Trump. And yes, I do hope he gets back in there. Democrats ain't going to do nothing for us the way things look.
Yeah, we still dealing with y'all too. Y'all ain't fooled nobody, even though the hot seat is on the other side right now. We ain't lost sight of how they got down.
Oh yeah. And saw what Kamala did, right? That did.
Yeah.
Now,
I was telling you when I was listening to Vicky Diller, she broke it down. I'm telling you about Kamala.
Yeah. And the thing is, she's now having regrets, y'all. She's having regrets. And I'm like, you know what? now you're having regrets. You know, I feel sorry for those parents that got arrested.
Mm.
And I will never forget how she sat on that video laughing about that like it was some kind of damn joke.
Yeah, that's what's pissing me off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now you want to, now you're all up in your feelings.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
You know,
Pamela's not going to win though.
yeah, because when she was talking about that, she was at some little luncheon in Oakland, and she was pandering to them white people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, and then she wants to get around us and talk about her hot sauce and stuff like
Mm-mm.
we want to know about, you know.
Mm-mm. You're on your own.
I don't give a fuck about you and some hot sauce.
Mm.
But that's
Such
the kind of stuff they want to come around black folks and talk, or they want to dance. And I'm like, look, and that's another thing, black people, stop dancing with politicians. Stop dancing.
Roland Martin, Roland,
Yeah.
that old coon shit.
Yeah, y'all stop dancing with politicians. When they go among all these other people, you don't see nobody busting out in no dance move.
Mm-hmm.
You know, black people really got to stop doing that.
Mm.
You know, if we're going to be taken seriously about ADOS, we can't be doing that foolish mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Snoop Dogg. Oh, okay. Y'all talking about some music.
Yeah, you know, John Singleton had a stroke.
Yeah, I saw that. I was going to put that story out too.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that about him. Yeah, I remember going to the movie theater and watching some of his movies too.
Mm-hmm. He made some good movies.
Mm-hmm. You remember back in the day when he was dating Tyra Banks?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And she was in one of his movies.
Yeah, she was. She got I think she was the one that got killed in his movie.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember going to the movies and listening to his interviews because he said when he went to film school, he was the only black person in the class. And he said every time he did stuff, it was things pertaining to black people. So after it was done, they would, you know, the white student be like, oh, well, it was interesting, you know, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, he was the only one in that class that made it. And all those white students that were kind of putting their nose up at his stuff, none of them did it in the industry.
Yeah.
You showed them, didn't you?
Sure did. Mm-hmm.
But he was talking about that in an interview years ago that I had watched.
Mm.
He said that's all he knew. He came from the hood. So everything he put on film was about what happened in the hood. Or
yeah, and it was authentic. It didn't come off over exaggerated or anything.
Right.
When we have our perspective on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, white folks get their hands on it, they gonna make it look like it's worse than ever.
Yes.
It's just lawlessness all in the hood.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it sure is.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not that, he can't be that old. I mean,
no, I'm older than him.
Yeah, I didn't think he was that old.
He's 51.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Mm-hmm. But if you look, I pulled up a picture of him. He looks older than my husband. We were shot last night.
Mm-hmm. He probably,
but he looked sickly.
Yeah.
And they said he was on an airplane for many hours. You can't sit when you're in an airplane that long. You got to get up and walk. You'll get blood clots in your legs.
Yeah, yeah. And y'all should remember some of his movies. The biggest one was Boys in the Hood. Now I know y'all remember that.
I can't pronounce this actress name, but he had married her, the one that played in The Color Purple, Silly sister. That went to Africa. They had got married back in the 90s. They have a daughter together. They divorced now.
Yeah, I saw many of his movies. I also saw a Poetic Justice with Tupac and Jam, if y'all remember.
Yeah, they made that movie up here in Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
Part of Oakland and LA.
Yeah, because that was John Singleton too.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing that and in the movie theater.
Yeah.
I remember distinctly it was Janet Jackson and John Singleton. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I also Remember, they didn't get along so well on the set either.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that had came out around that same time. Janet and Tupac didn't exactly get along.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's 51 years old. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Too Fast, Too Furious. That was another one. Baby Boy. Some of y'all might remember Baby Boy.
I love Baby Boy. I like that movie.
That was his movie too with Tyrese. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People now call Cry Reese. Crying.
Oh yeah. I got that video up. He just crying.
Mm-hmm. But he did Four Brothers. He did Shaft. I mean, he did a lot of movies.
Yeah, I like Shaft also.
When you look at his whole career, Hustle and Flow. Do you remember Hustle and Flow?
Mm-hmm.
He did Rosewood too. Y'all know he did Rosewood?
I didn't know that. I didn't know he did Rosewood.
Yeah, he got it on there on the chat. Yeah, he did Rosewood. Yes, he did. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
When that came out on cable, I must have watched that thing like 4 times.
Mm-hmm. That's a damn good movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he did a lot of good movies, and I hope people don't forget about that.
Yeah.
And I hope he recovers.
Me too.
For him to go through something at such a young age is never good.
Mm-hmm.
You never know, like you said, you don't know what his health has been overall.
Yeah.
Past few years either. Wow. It's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I remember back in the day, Tyra Banks was his girlfriend back in the day. I remember that too.
Yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm.
And she, I haven't seen Tyra in ages.
She didn't cooned all the way out.
Yeah, I know. Because when she had her modeling show, I didn't really watch that.
I watched some of it.
I didn't watch any of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't get into it. I watched I think one episode I tried to watch. I couldn't get into it. Yeah, Rosewood was good. That he really should have gotten a lot of awards for that, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I remember watching that, and oh man, when some of those black people got killed, I was crying. I was really crying.
Yeah. I just closed my eyes. It was just too painful.
Yeah. I mean, it was. And did you ever watch the documentary of the survivors?
Yes, I have.
Of Rosewood, them elderly people that.
Yeah.
Because
yes, I did.
One thing I remember distinctly that they said the number they put out of the dead was way lower. They said thousands of them that were dead, of black people they had killed. But they put out this low number, I think like 300 or something like that. They said way higher than that, because they knew all kinds of people that got killed. When I was listening to them old folks talking, they said all kinds of people. They said some families got completely wiped out. So they were under, but America does that. They always trying to undercount the numbers, especially when they don't look so good in the damn thing. Yeah, you're real right. The white girls out here still lie about being raped. I mean, it just go to show you nothing has changed. Nothing has changed, y'all. Wow. Wow, y'all really up on the John Singleton stuff, just looking in the comment section. Oh, that's what Tyra's show was, the Next Top Model. Yeah, I couldn't get into that. I don't know why. You know why I think I might not have been able to get into it? Back during the time when I tried to watch it, she had Janice Dickerson on her panel, and I can't
the horror of Hollywood.
Yeah.
And she
because that was the one thing that turned me off. I'm now remembering why. When I saw Janice on her panel, that turned me off so much. I didn't want to watch the show no more. I can't stand Janice.
Yeah.
And I cannot stand her. And I think that was the big thing that turned me off, when she had her as a panelist.
Yeah, I remember she was on some reality show with Omarosa, And Omarosa told her straight up, "You're a horrible parent." And she broke down in tears.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Mm-hmm.
I remember back in the day when Janice tried to say Sly Stallone.
I remember. I know what you're getting ready to say.
Yeah, was fathered one of her children, and they did a DNA test, and he was not that child's father at all. Like, damn, you don't even know who your baby's daddy is.
You ain't know. That's how jaded she be. She be high.
Damn, you don't even know your daughter's father.
I'm telling you, Lisa. I seen it on not Maury Povich. I forget that show. I call it the Baby Mama Drama Show. And the number one woman that was tested, her name is Marissa, a Mexican girl. She was tested 44. She tested 44 men, and they still can't find the father
of
her child.
Oh, damn!
And she never come humble. You think after being shamed all those times, you should come out humble? One time I cracked up. She had got pissy drunk at some club, and some friends called a taxi for her, so she wouldn't drive her car, and she didn't have no money to pay for the fare, so she screwed the taxi man. He could barely speak English. They tested him. I'm like, damn. I said, girl, you reaching down.
Woo, man.
You was reaching. Now the taxi man, you don't know who you laid down. Your ass was toe up on something real bad.
Yeah.
I kid y'all not. I'm not making that up, folks. I seen it with my own eyes.
Her name is Marisol.
Marisol? Okay, thank you. See, I had it wrong. Marisol. I said Marissa.
She's a public.
No, she like what I said, because I don't want the men to think I'm beating up on them. Because I had did a video about this woman that cut her husband's penis off, but I put it on Black Junction, and I said, oh, he had the community penis, and she got the community vagina. Even though it's wrong for that woman, I can understand her feelings was hurt. She wasn't supposed to cut it off.
Yeah, 44 times. Yeah, I wonder what kind of sexual transmitted diseases she got too.
You sitting up there thinking of all these dudes you don't know. Oh Lord.
Right.
That's all I can say.
How do you tell your child that? Honey, I don't know who the hell your father is. I don't know who they are. Oh, how embarrassing.
Sure, I seen a white girl on there. She got pregnant by her father-in-law.
Wow. Oh, that's disgusting.
They was trailer park material.
But you know what? I've heard rumors like that when I was coming up, how white men, when they get married, if the father is widowed or the mother is no longer with their father, they let their wives have sex with their father. And they don't see nothing wrong with it. They were like, well, he gotta get laid too. What? Yeah.
Like that, that's like that story. He sound like that man in that story I told you about the other day.
Yeah. Yeah. Expectation. If my dad is single, you should screw my dad. He needs sex too. I'm like, what? Y'all do that?
Wow.
Yeah, I've heard that stuff before years ago.
Just passing it around, huh?
I didn't get married and you get used.
Lord.
Oh,
that's a lot.
That's a lot. An issue, man.
Yeah, that's a lot of information for my psyche. I tell you one that's gonna blow you back. I was watching Cops one night, me and my husband, and they got a call. And this brother had called the cops because his mother had stabbed him. He had discovered that his mother and his wife, they was having a lesbian relationship.
What?
Never forget that shit.
Oh, God.
And never forget that shit.
Damn, what happened in their families?
I said, wait a minute, that was the twist of the century for me. And and I heard it for him. And he said his mama stabbed him. He said, I don't want my mama to go to jail. He said, I just wanted all the drama to stop and stuff. And he was like, there's nothing I can do to stop it. My mother and my old lady, they in love with each other. I said, what the fuck? Me and my husband looked at each other. I was like, what? And I was like, wow, okay. I didn't know. Wow.
Do you remember the show that used to be on years ago, Cheaters?
Oh, I used to watch that shit like 2 or 3 in the morning. Yeah, I used to watch that shit. I would get up. I remember I would go to work on a Friday. I'd probably wake up Saturday morning, like 2 or 3 in the morning, and watch Cheaters back to back. Oh, them folks. Oh, them folks. I know one time I seen Cheaters. This brother was cheating on this sister, and her family had some little get together at the park. They beat his ass in the park. They beat his ass.
Yeah.
She said, this Negro been cheating on me. And the whole family went in.
Cheaters was your guilty pleasure, hood mistress. I used to watch it, and just, to be honest with you, I used to watch it just to get some entertainment and some laughter in, because
and people would get caught in compromising positions. I remember this. It was this Mexican dude. He was nice too. He had his own. He had just started this little carrier business, and he was dating this trashy white girl. And he hired a brother. And every day when that brother would come to work, the first thing he would do is piss in his coffee. And when he would leave, they would screw in the janitor's closet, all kind of different places. So when they revealed to him, she was thinking he was cheating, who it was, he was blown away, and they found them in an abandoned warehouse screwing. I said, this Negro don't got no money. He take you to an abandoned warehouse.
Yeah.
You can't go get no hotel. I said, women are stupid. We're going to get it in right here.
Yeah.
In the warehouse. On the floor. Wow.
Right. Oh my goodness.
People be, Y'all know how my mouth can be, because, oh my goodness, my husband be like, what the hell? What's going on?
Well, I watched one episode. I don't know if you remember this one. This black guy had suspected his white girlfriend was cheating on him. And they were like, oh, she's at the motel right now with this dude. So they went over there, and she was already naked in the bed with the guy. And they come busting in, and he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, oh my God, what do you mean? What are you doing? You see what she's doing,
right? Yeah.
So anyway, he threatens the guy. So the guy gets up, a white guy. She was in bed with a white guy. So he gets up scrambling around for his clothes, and he pulls her up and said, what are you doing? He said, I do everything for you. I pay for this. I pay for that. He was running it all down, right? And at the end, when they were walking out the motel, he said, she and I are going to work this out. I was like, what?
Oh, and you catch him in the act?
Yeah, I was like, you caught her in all of that.
Oh, I can't. That's too. I can't do it, Lisa.
Arm around her and said, we gonna work this out. I was like, what?
I couldn't do it. I'd be one hurt puppy. But you know what? They got a video out on YouTube. I don't know if you've seen it or not, Lisa, where this brother caught his wife screwing his partner. It's a video on YouTube somewhere around. It's a black couple, and when he opened the door, they was on the couch screwing, and he was calm as hell. He was like, what's up, dog?" or something like that. And then he said, "Now you gonna give me my divorce?" You could hear the hurt in his voice, and I'm like, "Damn, y'all wasn't even discreet with that."
Right.
And she was trying to cover up and all of that. It's on YouTube. I'm gonna find that video. I'm gonna find it. I've seen it a few times.
Wow.
And stuff.
Wow. That is deep.
Yeah. But she didn't want to give him a divorce. And he knew she was cheating, but not with his one of his friends.
Right.
And he was like, you can have her.
You know the one I remember, Queen, and it made the news, where this woman was cheating on her husband, and he had some kind of insurance policy, and they were trying to get him killed off, and she ended up hiring, I think, like an undercover.
Oh, that old fake shit. She thought he was done in, and she put on the crocodile tears and stuff. I remember that shit.
Yeah.
I remember that shit. Oh my goodness. You
Now
know,
that
and
I remember.
and then when they let her know what was up, then she was like, "Oh baby, I'm sorry. We can work it." She was another one working it out. It's like, I don't want you.
Yeah.
You went that far. You want to get me pop? He was nice to her.
Yeah.
It's always the ones you want somebody to see. She'll respect somebody putting a hole in her head and putting foot up in her ass.
Yeah.
Oh, she be in there cooking and cleaning and everything. But you get you a nice one. You want them killed?
Yeah.
He didn't even beat the one. He did nothing to her. It was just nice. He was just too nice to her.
Yeah.
And some people take that as you being a sucker.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you get in a bad situation, you think about the people that was nice to you.
Right.
Some
Exactly.
people, you know what it is. See, people always say grass is green. Some people do that because grass is greener on the other side. No, it ain't that. It's usually sexual. That's all it is. Them people are horny, and that's really what it is. They just dogs. It can be a man or a woman on either side. That's all that is. Because they don't go out or anything like that. It ain't trying to nurture a relationship. They just screwing.
Right.
That's it. Because they gotta go hide.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you be talking about, let's go to the restaurant. He'd be like, oh shit, go get some McDonald's through drive-through. Let me take you in this warehouse and screw you for 10 minutes. And I'm going my way.
Yeah.
See, I'll make a person feel bad. Like, what? Your ass was in the warehouse.
Yeah. Man, that is low. That is low. A warehouse where rats and everything are running.
They were screwing on a cardboard. They were screwing on a cardboard box on that Cheaters.
Disgusting.
And I said, "Woo, Becky."
Man, that's
And
desperation.
And the brother was so wrong because that dude was hired him and everything, and he was pissing in his coffee.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. Yeah. But you know what? Oh, one of them, I don't know if you've seen this one, Lisa, on Cheaters, where it was kind of a up in age couple, and it was these two sisters, and the sister, she was thinking her husband might have been cheating on her and stuff, and she had a little weight on her, and so it was on a Sunday. Her and her sister and husband went to church, and she was cooking after they got out of church, and she needed something from the store. So both of them said, "Oh, we'll go to the store and get it." And they was filming them screwing outside, standing up on the side of the house.
Oh my God.
And when they showed when they showed the footage a couple of days later to her, she was like, where is he? Where is he? And they said, right now she's at your sister's house. And when she knocked on the door, the first thing her sister said, he ain't no damn good. He blah, blah, blah. But you screwing your sister's, you screwing your brother-in-law. And she took, the shit got real funny. So she got mad, ran back home, took his shit and put it in a garbage bag and threw his ass in the street. She said, I'm the one that paid for everything around there. He was sitting at the fucking bus stop. I was screaming.
Oh, shit.
And these wasn't no young folk. These folks was past 50.
Wow.
They was past 50. But
wow.
I couldn't get past her sister. Her sister, now she was the slender one. They screwing on the side of the house. I said, Lord, I don't know if anybody's seen that one. That one had me rolling.
Oh my goodness. No, I didn't see that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if I looked, the old episodes were probably on YouTube.
Uh-huh. I think a couple of people have seen that one. Yeah, I was like, wow.
Yeah, they put the old episodes of everything out on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. No, I didn't see that one.
Mm-hmm.
You know where that was? Was that what state that was in?
No, I can't remember that. I can't remember that at all.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to. I had to just look at the visuals because I remember what their faces look like and stuff. But I said they screwed on the side of the building.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it don't take two people to go to the store to get a loaf of bread.
Right.
He gonna tell her sister he ain't no good. He a low down dog. Okay, he a low down dog, but you screwing him on the side of the house. That tearing down, you letting him tear down your dignity.
Right.
So you the same as him. You know what? I was in a Facebook group, Lisa, and this brother came to us on a Facebook group and told us he had been married X amount of years, and for like the last 3 years, he been screwing his sister-in-law, and he got her pregnant, and she wants to be with him exclusively. And they getting ready, and he was telling us that they getting ready to have a big family gathering, and if he don't do what she say, she gonna announce to the family that they've been screwing each other and she's pregnant. You know, she was giving him an ultimatum, and he was asking our advice, and before the women could say anything, men are cruel. One dude said, "Kill yourself."
Yeah.
I couldn't help but laugh. I couldn't help but laugh. I said, "This dude got himself in a situation. You done screwed your sister-in-law and knocked her up, and she threatening you. You gonna be with me." Oh, I said, "Oh, that's messy." And I couldn't give him no. I don't know what kind of advice to give somebody like that. You know,
Well,
you
go in there and do what he did.
woo, messy.
No.
He was, and you know what? You can literally feel his energy off from the words. He was desperate. He's like, I don't know what to do.
This whole world was about to change.
You couldn't find. I mean, cheating is wrong. You couldn't find something down the street. Damn, you got to keep it in the family,
right? Yeah.
Oh, them brother, yeah. One dude said, "Man, you in a fucked up situation. Can't help you." But that dude said, "Kill yourself." I'm like, oh my goodness.
What does he want anybody online to do?
He was trying to get advice from us.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't have a clue what to say.
What can you say? You know?
Mm-mm.
What can you say? He's a grown man. That ain't how you should have known better. What was going to come out of it? What good thing did he think was going to come out of his wife's sister? Come on.
Yeah. Now you got her pregnant. She threatening your ass. You gonna tell them? I said, what they say? What is that term? A moment of pleasure and a lifetime of pain.
Exactly. Oh my
goodness. Woo!
Wow. Ain't that something? Now expect everybody to help him out. Man, get out of here. I wouldn't help him either.
Everybody getting hurt in that situation because and then he even expressed that he just want to lead a quiet life and be with his wife. Oh, now you can
do that. Now you want to get
out. Yeah, you was probably resentful being there, just having a ball. But then when it got on that level, oh Lord, I'm in love with my wife. What did I do?
I can't. I wouldn't be able to tell him what to do with that fuckery.
Oh yeah, I remember that one, Heather. They said, "Do y'all see the one where the black woman caught her man and he wouldn't leave the side girl at the restaurant? He said, no, I'm an OG, and his wife went in home. LOL. I remember that. I think it was a baby involved in that situation.
Wow. The only ones I didn't like, I saw one episode, but I think this was a white woman. And her husband was out at a restaurant with some woman he was cheating on her with, and they were having dinner. And they told her, oh, he's at the restaurant right now. She had her little daughter in the car. I said, you know what? You should have got a babysitter or something. You shouldn't let.
No, that ain't cool.
So she's in there screaming at her husband. I mean, she was like, who are you? I'm his wife and all that stuff. So
yeah, you don't have no damn child in that situation.
Brought her child with her, and this was I think the kid must have been about 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah, that baby feel all that energy, seeing all these adults screaming and out of control. No, that's not a good look at all.
She was screaming at him, and she said, when I ask you to go out to dinner, you always say no. I see what happened, but he took his side woman out though. And kept telling her, and I think she was upset because he kept telling her he was working late. That's how he was getting around her. You know, oh, I'm working late. I'm working all these hours. And he was running around with this woman, other woman. I remember that one.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We're going to conclude. I'm so glad you all came. We'll definitely do this again. I would have done it Saturday, but when Saturday morning, I started feeling bad, y'all. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Well, I had fun dragging Trump, and
I'm always
and the saga continues. This is the presidency. I never thought I would see something like this. It's a reality show. Damn, it's always something.
If they're able to drop them tax returns, I'm telling you, I'm going to do a hangout on the spot.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. It's going to be the meltdown. It's going to be the meltdown hangout.
Yeah. They're trying to get 6 years of his tax returns. 6 years.
Wow.
And he's fighting like hell not to show it. Y'all, that's going to be something right there. I might have to just bust out the wine and all that.
Everybody gonna be lit on YouTube.
I mean, look, when this report was released on Friday, it was like the whole country came to a standstill.
It came to a screeching halt. Because I was talking to you on the phone, and I was like, Lisa, it's out. Because they was doing the countdown on CNN. And I was waiting. I was like, it's out. I said, I gotta go. I want to read it right now.
Yeah, I think everybody came to a standstill when this thing came out.
I was astounded that link I gave everyone. Them people read that for 11 hours. It was a group
had different readers and switched up, but yeah, they read it for 11 straight hours. They sure did. And them tax returns, that probably gonna top even this. Because everybody will get to see how rich Trump really isn't. That's what I think. One of the key things Trump don't want to see, that he's not as wealthy as he claims. He may have some wealth, but he's not no billionaire. Trump ain't no billionaire. And telling people he's a billionaire. Trump ain't no billionaire.
Yeah.
He's not a billionaire. You look at all the businesses that he failed in. He failed. And every business that he ran.
Yeah, I was reading that it's failed.
There's no way he got billions.
He's just he's a complete fraud. That's it.
Yeah, he really is. In fact, he said on paper, Melania, his wife, got more money than him. She's more wealthy than he is. Wow. All right, y'all.
Okay.
I'll see you the next time. We'll do it probably in the next few days.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Queen.
Did you have anything to say to me before you got off?
Well, tomorrow I got a couple of messages for, the debt company thing. Some people have called me back. So I know what that's all about.
Okay.
You know what? If they're going over 5,000, I'm not even going to bother you.
Okay. I understand.
I ain't going to even talk to you about it because we already set a price and then we're going to stick with that.
Yeah. And then just shoot it across to me if it's, you feel like we can possibly work with them, and I'll just do the background check.
Well, I already blocked the other dude, and if push comes to shove and he really starts to become a pest, I'll put his background in his face. That'll get rid of him.
Yeah, that'll let him know we ain't no fools.
I'll put his background in his face and say, look, we did some background on you. You're a shady, and please don't reach out to me again. That's
it, and that's all.
Plain and simple. So he got to know we're not interested. And that crook ain't getting his hands on those $7,000.
We'll never see him again. Yeah, or he'll become very unavailable.
Yeah, right. Like he did to them other people that sued his ass.
Yeah.
And he
They
got,
didn't take-
plus I don't want to have to bring up, he got a little unit.
Oh Lord, I told my husband about that. He said, "What?" He screamed when I told him that. He said, y'all are, he said, you and Lisa a mess. I said, we didn't do nothing. The shit was sitting there. I mean, what did we do? We didn't do anything.
He pissed somebody off to put that mess out there.
Yeah, probably some woman he was messing with and swindled her out of her money.
Mm-hmm.
And she believed in him. That's what that sound like. That's really putting your business in the street.
Oh, it sure is.
I
I had to laugh on that one. That was funny.
Yeah.
All right.
So, okay. We get off of here and do some more research.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off. I got a few videos that I gotta post.
Yeah, I got two I gotta put up today too also.
All right.
Alrighty. Okay, bye-bye.